All right, mates, welcome back. JL Scott Fishing Needs Part 3, Upper Potomac, December fishing, wintertime fishing, Upper Potomac. Those of you who've been following the channel understand what's happened to the Upper Potomac here in the last week. We had rising waters. We went from about 1.5 feet, 2 feet high, all the way to 6 feet. Now we're back down to about 4 feet. And we are at the lowest point here below Old Dam 2 that I come to fish for some smallies, okay? You can bring your kayak all the way down. You can roll it all the way down the towpath to this section. Just hit me up. I can tell you exactly where to enter in. And you can enter the water right here, and you can fish all the way down. If you park it down at the next lock, you can go there. You could have entered upriver at the dam, which is probably now about 2 miles, maybe 1.5 miles above where I am right now. You can see that hopefully behind me. I got the sun across from me coming directly from the Virginia side to the Maryland side. I'll try and give you a shot here of what you're looking at. Directly behind me is a cut in the island, okay? That's not the main river. The main river is going to be out there. You can see right here in this shot. All right? That is an island right there that is in the middle of the river, okay? It splits the river. On the other side of that island, you've got more water, and then you've got the Virginia side, okay? All the way up there, as far as you can see, that other island, that's a really good spot if you're a kayak angler, okay? They will pin up against that shoreline of that island, especially during high water events like we've had. And then you've got your rock lines going all the way across the river. So you've got some ledges that form that you can find. This time of year, if you can get out, if you can bring yourself to get out in the wintertime, late fall and in the wintertime, during the low water like we had last week, where it was like only about 1.5 feet, you can find these ledges for spring and summer fishing, mates. Okay, and this is those little drops, ledge and then a drop to deeper water, are where you're going to find smallies. Okay, so this point up here is where we're at. And then downriver, see how wide or open it is. The river opens up. It gets wider here in this section. This is one of the widest sections below Dam 2 all the way down to the next 2 locks, okay? It's a very wide section, all right? And typically, you shoot that gap right in there. If you could see that, it's kind of probably hard to see that water on that island. There are cuts in these islands, mates. And these cuts are where those smallies, especially in spring, will move in if they want to get out of the main channel and into some shallower water, maybe to spawn, whatever. But don't ever sleep on those cuts. They're transition ways for not only for us, but for the fish. I can in a kayak train without having to go all the way down an island and paddle all the way back. I can use a cut to my advantage and cut over to the Virginia side, which is much deeper water, mates, and it's less pressured than this side, because this side has the towpath and it has all of the lock access points all the way down the Little Falls in DC. So you've got like 4 or 5 different locks all the way up the river for access, okay? The Virginia really only has, down towards Algonquin and up, okay, a little bit further upriver. So there's not as many access points than on the Maryland side. So a lot of people don't work their way across the river and fish those sections as much as they should. So that's where we're at. So we're about 2 miles, about a mile and a half, somewhere between 1.5 miles. I got to clock it one time. 1.5 miles, 1.5, 1.7 miles south of Old Dam 2. Above Old Dam 2, you've got Seneca Landing that a lot of the jet boats use, a lot of the guides use. They go out of that and they head up river. They head up to Edwards Ferry. They head up, okay? They don't come down below. They can't come down below that dam. It's too rocky. And so it leaves this area for those of us that know it and have got it dialed in here over the last 2 years. A lot of times you only have 1 or 2 other people out with you, okay? Even in the summertime. And you'll see a lot more paddling and kayak floats from the companies that run those, obviously during the summertime, because it's a really easy part of the river to do that on. But as far as kayak anglers go, it's why the population is starting to bounce back a little bit. I still think the consistent size is north of us, okay? Above Seneca Landing, all the way up above Edwards Ferry, above Point of Rocks, Maryland, Landers Boat Ramp, going all the way up to Harper's Ferry. I think the size is definitely up there, but the quantity levels are starting to come back in these sections due to really good spawning classes after the 2018 flood event, okay, that kind of decimated this section. The other section, other thing down here, and from where I'm standing now, down that way, okay, down from the dam, so downriver towards DC, you're starting to get massive amounts of grass coming back, and I mean in droves. Go back and look at the springtime, summer videos I did from that section, especially the Virginia side, where there is just thick grass coming back that was not there when I moved to Maryland. Was not there 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago. Was not there. Okay, it is coming back. All right, and I've talked to a bunch of people about that. That's gonna actually filter, clean the water out, provide a lot more stuff for bait fish and for the smallies to feed on. So it's a symbiotic relationship for all these things that happen here on the river mates. Okay, and so keep that in mind. There's structure also in this river that's been brought down from upriver in these events that become actual structure. There's a video I did regarding a downed tree that's straight up 40 feet, 50 foot tree, okay, that basically is just stuck lodged right in the middle of the river. And the smallies are just all up underneath it during the summertime. So, great video. Glad I could share these videos. If there's anything else you want included in some of these videos, I'm tempted to bring the kayak out tomorrow if we're still in the 38 to 40 degree weather. The water is about 41, 42 degrees where I'm at today. I think it's a little colder above the dam from reports I've gotten from some mates. So that's a kind of interesting thing. But the smallies are still feeding up. So that's just a quick update. Maybe we'll hop on here if I can keep the signal. Maybe do a little live stream fishing for some smallies. Throw that all up in the private group for smallmouth, chasing those smallies. So hope everybody's having a great holiday, man. Whatever you're celebrating, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah if you celebrate. And I look forward to the new year with a lot of you mates being out here with me on the river coming up, man, experiencing this. This is a really fun place to be. I know a lot of people favor the tidal Potomac, obviously for largemouth, and they should. But for a nice day out on the water, easy going, catching smallies, hard pressed to beat some of these fisheries like the Upper Potomac and the Monocacy and the Allegheny. So we're going to do a lot more on the water footage, breaking all those fisheries down, throughout each season, showing you. I'm about ready to lock and load a wintertime bait selection. Bait's been using for the last week here during the high water event, and now we've dropped about 2 feet that I'm going to throw here today. So check that video out. You'd be surprised what they're eating. I mean, it's fun stuff, mates. So hopefully you guys can get out, enjoy it. I know it's wintertime. I know it's the holiday season. I know you got Christmas shopping to do. The wife's got your honey-do list and all that, man. But if you can get out and sneak away for a couple hours, do it. Because you will not be disappointed. All right, mates.